Here's the TLDR review of the Lenovo Vibe X2 in under 60 seconds, starting right now. It's got a well-built, lightweight body with a funky multicolor design, but the sharp edges hurt when talking on the phone for long. The full HD display is vibrant and satisfactory for the price. The MediaTek 8-core chip screams performance. It ran smoothly despite anything we threw at it. It did get a little warm when under load, but not a deal breaker. The Lenovo software customizations is colorful, looks somewhat like iOS or MIUI 6. Some useful features are thrown in, which we'll show in the full review. The camera was laggy with mediocre output at first, but a software update seems to have fixed it. Battery life with light usage should last you a day. The modest 2300 mAh battery isn't enough to keep it running the whole day with heavy usage. Now overall, a good buy for Rs 20,000. You could wait for the Xiaomi Mi 4 too when it eventually launches in India. Let's jump into the full review of the Lenovo Vibe X2. You've probably heard about Lenovo in the mobile space more often when they bought Motorola. They made decent phones in the past, but nothing that would stand out. Now there is this one that wants to be taken seriously. The Vibe series from Lenovo has phones that are slim, powerful and ultralight. The combination isn't easy, but it looks like Lenovo has pulled it off. There are not a lot of people who complain about having a single solid color on their phones, but if you are among the ones who do, you'll love the Vibe X2. It tries to be unique and it starts right from the box. The box complements the multi-layered design of the phone by splitting it in two parts, with the top part housing the phone and the lower part storing the accessories. The Lenovo Vibe X2 is the first multi-layered design phone in the world. At first glance, it looks like colored paper stacked together. Lenovo has picked a combination of flashy and subtle colors. This combination works well and the phone catches eyeballs easily. There are 3 color options for the back, but as of now, only the gold color is officially available in India. The metallic back has a nice soft feel to it. The phone is boxy and looks a lot like the Xperia Z1, but it isn't a unibody design. It has pogo pin connectors at the back to connect the add-on battery and speaker case. Sadly, these need to be bought separately. I didn't find it very comfortable to use because the edges made their presence felt in hand. The main problem crops up when you are on calls as the edges of the phone digs into the palm and the ear, making it uncomfortable to use for long calls. I found myself switching hands constantly between calls. A slightly curvier design would have been better. If you talk on your phone for long hours, then this phone may not be really comfortable to use. This is a 4G dual SIM device, but there is only one SIM tray that accommodates both the micro SIM and the nano SIM card. It sports a 5-inch Full HD IPS display, which was a little saturated. It has a high pixel density of 441 ppi and it's nice to look at. The display is protected by Gorilla Glass 3 and comes with a scratch guard in the box. Sadly, the review unit I got was badly scratched. I'd recommend buyers to apply the screen guard for added measure. The phone comes with Android 4.4 KitKat and runs Vibe UI on top of it. There has been some tweaks and performance updates in the UI since the original Vibe. There is still no app drawer and all the apps are directly available on the home screen. If you don't like the whole layout, you can use the Google Now launcher. The multitasking UI is similar to what you find on iOS devices. The best thing is that you now have a list of all the useful features at one place in the settings menu. One of the interesting features is Smart Answer, which immediately answers a call when the device is raised to your ear. Pocket Mode increases the ringtone volume when the phone is in your pocket or purse, and the Pocket Dial Prevention Mode prevents accidental clicks. Smart Standby prevents the display from going off if you're looking at it. Double tapping the home button wakes the phone, launches the camera and takes a picture. You can also double tap the screen to check notifications. It surprisingly has less bloatware and I don't have to uninstall apps at first use. Now moving to the stock apps, the gallery is a basic content viewer with nothing fancy to be found. The video player comes with dynamic contrast enhancement, which will further deepen the blacks. There is no stock audio player and a pre-installed Google Music app is the default music player. To get a proper verdict on the camera of the device, we thought of asking it to someone who knows a lot about them. Here's Saif talking about it.
After all the things Adi just said, I might just sound like the bad guy. But here's the thing about the Vibe X2's camera. I got the review unit by evening when it was getting dark. It felt like it had no concept of a steady shot. Most shots I took with the X2 would turn out to be shaky and unusable. Even the manual controls like bumping up the ISO to the maximum at 1600 didn't help me get a faster shutter speed. The slow shutter speed makes it tough to click good images, and to make it worse, there is no image stabilization. The phone took noise reduction way too seriously, and you can see that in the 100% crop image. You'd end up with cartoonish images where you expect some details. Video records at 1080p is invisible at night, and all I could see is darkness with some light sources. Continuous autofocus performs refocusing every 5 seconds, thus giving you a footage you'd rather shift delete. At daytime though, it was a different story altogether. Everything worked just fine except for the HDR, as it had ghosting. Photos had soft feel to it while being vibrant. Put the camera in the sports mode and it won't get the usual second lag it had. Videos were still too contrasty and had the same continual autofocusing issue even if the object was stationary. Every phone that is launching nowadays have a few selfie tricks up its sleeve. The Vibe X2's modest 5-megapixel camera isn't left behind with the features like blink shutter, hand and voice shutter trigger. The aggressive noise reduction doubles up as a face retouching tool which has an option to further smoothen the image. The front camera records at 1080p, which I'd say is good for the video blogging trend. Things did get better with the update Lenovo pushed, and the viewfinder was less hazy afterwards. Overall, I'd not recommend the Vibe X2 if you want a good camera phone. I'd say this is a killer phone for the performance, but in the camera department, it's as good as a Moto G. Over to Shanoy.
With the marvelous 5-inch 1080p IPS display, the Vibe X2 did satisfy most of my multimedia needs. The saturated colors are pleasing when you're watching YouTube videos. I love how the video playback got fluid when I used the clear motion setting. Sound quality is decent with the bundled headphones. The speakerphone is loud enough. The plastic body does rumble a bit when blasting audio really loud. The 32GB onboard storage gave me around 22 GB of user available space. The phone packs in an octa-core processor with 2 GB of RAM. For those who are curious, it's a MediaTek chipset and has a big little configuration. There are 4 high-performance cores and 4 energy-efficient cores, and when in need, all 4 can work simultaneously. The processing power that this phone has is mind-boggling. If you are into synthetic benchmarks, you'll be glad to know that the Vibe X2 puts powerful phones like the Nexus 5 and the Samsung Galaxy S5 to shame. There was no lag in the UI. Gaming wasn't a problem either. It ran high-end games smoothly and the loudspeaker ensured that it was engaging. With all this processing power, you would ask how badly did it hit on the battery life. The phone sips battery frugally when idle thanks to the low power cores. But the battery doesn't hold up really well under heavy use. The high performance cores drain the battery fast, slightly heating the phone up in the process. We found the phone to heat up while playing heavy games and video recording. Now once the device heats up, I saw a drop in performance and had to wait for the device to cool down. Looking at the specs of the Vibe X2, I thought it was the perfect all-rounder for 20,000 rupees. After having used it for a couple of days, I can say that the phone does certain stuff really well. In terms of pure performance, the device is amazing and can outperform devices that cost a lot more. The camera clicks good images but isn't the best one out there. So if you are looking for a phone that is an excellent performer, the Vibe X2 doesn't fail to impress. For those who want more, can go in for the OnePlus One or the soon to be launched Xiaomi Mi 4. So while you're still here, let us know what do you think about the Vibe X2 in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and share this video with your friends. For more mobile phone reviews and app recommendations, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.